Hello my lovelies, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to share some super fabulous vintage fabrics and haberdashery that I found. If you are new here, if it's your first time visiting my channel, hello, my name's Tara and I talk about all things sewing and hand making your own wardrobe. So if you do like vintage inspired or DIY style, then hit the subscribe and like and check back for more. I love having you along for my sewing adventure and I love to spread the sewing love around. Here in the UK we've just come out of another lockdown and I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of treasure hunting, which is incredibly exciting. I also sat outside a cafe with my best friend and had a coffee, which I haven't done for over a year, like so many people around the world. And I tell you what, I am never ever going to take sitting outside of a place on a street drinking a drink with a person for granted again. A lovely lady reached out to me on Instagram and said her nan was selling lots of her fabric stash and would I be interested? Of course I was interested. So she put everything in her garden and me and my lovely friend Hannah, aka Hula Hannah, went along to have a little look and I found some lovely vintage haberdashery, antique haberdashery actually, and a couple of pieces of really gorgeous fabric, and Hannah found lots of stuff too. So I want to share them with you. These lovely buttons. This is a slight hint actually as to what my summer project theme is going to be. I wonder, can you guess? There's quite a few here. I'm not going to use all of these, so some of these will be going up onto my shop. But they are, I think they're probably 1950s. They're reasonably old and they're ever so lovely. They're plastic. So there's 25 in there, so that's really good. And then I found these mother of pearl. There's just two of them. Scallop shells, again thematically appropriate. And then there was this piece of, so this was only a couple of pounds, this piece of really beautiful Victorian, I should imagine, or Edwardian Broderion glazed trim. So there's all of that, but how beautiful is that? I mean, there's not a massive amount of it, and I don't have a clue as to what I would actually do with it. And then I also got from her this ribbon, like a Broderion glazed cotton ribbon, also probably Edwardian, this one, or 1920s at the very least. There's 7 3/4 yards. She was a lovely, this lady's nan was absolutely lovely. She was sharing all her sustainable and environmentally friendly cleaning tips with me, which was really fab. She was just brilliant and she had so much good fabric. Not sure what I'm doing with that, but it was only £5. Then I bought some collars, some antique collars. So, you know, collars are a big thing. I've just done my own collar pattern. So there's this one, which has this type of piecework, embroidered linen, but then all of this is, one of the names for this is, it's like an insertion method of creating a fabric. And this is called faggoting, which I think is not a very nice name for it, but that's that one, and that's very beautiful, so I thought yes to that one. And then collars often came in pairs rather than as like one whole piece, so I got this really gorgeous lace pair, and again these are probably early 1900s, 1910s, something like that. Really beautiful. I don't know. Some of these things will, as I say, end up on my shop because I don't know what I'm doing. I just saw it, loved it, had to have it. And then there's this collar, a Broderion glaze collar. Really gorgeous piece of work. You just cannot get stuff like this anymore. So I think I actually would have bought everything from her, but I didn't have the pennies for it, unfortunately. And then this one, which I absolutely love. See how excited I am. A sailor collar, but Broderion glaze sailor collar. So that would do that, and then look like that. And often what people would do is they would just hand sort of baste these to their dresses and just change the look. So you might have one special dress and then a dress or a couple of dresses for every day, and you would change the look of your dresses by adding these different collars. So, and often you'd get the cuffs as well, and you would extend your wardrobe, which is something that I think is a really lovely idea. I also got a couple of really gorgeous fabrics. So the first one, I love that she labelled everything, like vintage material, is this 1950s, I should imagine. It looks very 50s, it looks very mid-century modern to me. This one it's a lovely cotton actually, it's got a really lovely drape, it's not too stiff, and there is 3.5 yards by 36 inches, so it's about 3 meters. And then you know, vintagey fabrics are always rather narrow, but this isn't actually something that I would normally gravitate towards, but it's so beautiful. I mean, none of these colours I particularly wear. I like green, but maybe sort of mustards, browns, and like ochre yellows or oranges, or, you know, it's not really me, but I just really loved it, and there's so much fabric there. So I was wondering about making some kind of play suit or sunset. I might make some kind of just like a romper or something like that, 1950s, early 1950s inspired, or I might do some kind of wiggle dress in it if there is enough, which I probably would be more likely to wear, to be honest. One idea, thinking about a wiggle dress for this fabric, I just ordered this and just got this one, the B6590, one of the patterns by Gertie for Broderion. And here's a little line drawing. So I'm sort of thinking that would be quite incredible. What do you think? I'm not sure. Otherwise, this could be sitting around forever and then I don't do anything with it. And I think I would definitely, I love this dress so much that I would sort of get out of my comfort zone with the print. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. And then there's this one, which is very me. It's a cotton of some kind, cotton. I don't know if there's can't really see the label on this. So there's quite a bit of this fabric. Again, it's not as narrow, but it's, you know, another, you know, I would say this is probably 30s or 40s fabric. There's enough here. There's over 2 meters. So I'm thinking some kind of 1940s day dress, and I think I'm just going to find a 40s pattern cover on my Pinterest, which is rather vast, and just copy from the picture. So cut my own pattern from a picture. I'll link my Pinterest below and my 1940s board below, so if you want to have a little look, do go over. I'm a bit of a magpie on there. So that's that one, and I'm really thrilled, because you don't often find vintage fabrics and there's enough really to cut a whole item of clothing out of it. So the last few things, couple of things I have, were given to me by my lovely Hula Hannah, and she gave them to me as payment. I did some pattern cutting for her label, so she gave me fabric instead, which I'm I'm very happy to. I think the whole economy would be much better if we just bartered in fabrics, to be honest. So the first one is this cotton, which is, I would say, probably not another 1940s fabric. She said that she got it in America a long time ago. It's a cotton. There's a fair amount of it, again, reasonably narrow, but not massively narrow. So I don't, again, it's another colour that I don't really tend to wear. I don't tend to do browns and earthy colours. So a little bit different for me, but I think it's really lovely and would make a really lovely shirt dress, or maybe a shirt similar to the one that I did last week. I'll link somewhere. And that's sort of in a few, like, there's some random bits and then a length of it. I haven't actually measured it, but there's definitely a couple of meters, so there's definitely enough for either some kind of 1940s day dress or some kind of blouse. And then she gave me this, again, another bit of Broderion glazed trim. I have a nice little pile of the antique Victorian Edwardian trims, etc. And then the final piece of fabric, which is really rather fabulous, is this silk crepe de chine. This again is a 1940s, I should imagine, silk, or 1930s even. It's called a Tree of Life, and there's quite a bit of this, and I am going to make another one of my blouses, but I've cut a different sleeve. So I've done a big kind of 1940s billowing sleeve for that one. So that's what I'm going to be making with that. I hope you've enjoyed having a little look at my recent treasures and finds. It's not often that I'm lucky with vintage fabrics. I generally find new fabrics that kind of are dupes for vintage, and I'm really thrilled with them. So I'd love to hear what you think and what you would make with them. I'm open to suggestions. Certainly feels like there's a bit of a hopefulness in the air. I don't know if that's spring or the vaccines are rolling out. I am booking mine as soon as I can. I hope you are all in a fabulous frame of mind and having a bit of time to do some sewing and enjoy yourself. Take care, my lovelies. See you next week. Bye.